Black Void, that's what we needed. Gotta wake up the cat. It's tradition. Just get something else. Don't get an Elgato. Wake up the cat. I gotta bribe it tonight. Welcome everybody. This is Scuffed Epoch. I'm Drift Johnson. It's just gone 8 o'clock on the 18th of June. It's a Wednesday. And I'm trying to get my Elgato to work. Come on. Does it feel louder tonight? Oh my God. Why is it louder again? Maybe it's just me. Let me know. There we go. We're in. That feels louder. Oh, I know what it is. I'm not wearing my hat. Same thing I did yesterday. It's because it's so hot. It's so hot I don't want to wear the hat. but I need to wear the hat to pad the ears so I can still hear. And then I don't start screaming like a lunatic. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Like I say, every day, 8 o'clock, AI Art Show. It's like an open door art club. We do a bit of Writers Club at the end if we have time as well. Now, you're listening to my radio station, which plays live every show. What are we looking at tonight? More WAN VACE. It's workflow pack update time, so we're going to refactor these workflows now we know the values are good and they work well. In case you're wondering, this video isn't real. So what we're doing is we're using the videos that we already generated to drive the input. It works really well. I use it with a pre-trained LoRa to get a consistent effect. So I'm going to take you through the process of how we're doing this. You'll notice that this is one of the outputs from my highway races, okay, or DJZ Tokyo races, something along those lines. And I recently trained a WAN LoRa which does trained on GTA 5 drift mountain road footage. Obviously I've prompted for a red Ferrari. We're going to take a look at some of those. So these are the drivers. So if you notice this video that's playing on the screen, we've got like a Toyota-ish thing being followed by a Honda-ish thing. Alright. We get this canny map here, which is kind of cool. Let's go right in on it. See that? You can just about make out a whole bunch of cars. That's being pushed in as the video input. Wait. Yeah. And with a Ferrari. Oh look, it's a red Ferrari thing with the blue Ferrari thing behind it. Now, let's have a look at the prompt. It's the exact default prompt for my LoRa. The only thing I changed was white Subaru is red Ferrari. I'm using the Drift V0 effect. I think we might switch over to style, because I have got the style version as well, just so we can have a little compare. Alright, so let's just say here and say style. We've been using effect up to now because it seems to be closest. Some of them are really close as well. But yeah, like as you can see, I mean, look, if I get the original and put it next to it, obviously we've messed around with the cropping and we've messed around with the frame rate, so it's not going to match up exactly, but I think you can agree, even though it's coming out square for some reason. I'm not sure why it's coming out square. I'm not telling it to be square. I'm saying 640 by 480. Is it the control net is square? No, control net's not square. I haven't really looked at trying to make anything other than square though. So that is weird that it's only making square images. There doesn't seem to be an option. Is it only capable of making square images? That's not it. I would have thought that that would be okay, but clearly not. So maybe you have to put that's strange, isn't it? Maybe you have to put 640 and it preserves the aspect ratio by, so maybe I have cut myself, I don't know. It's 640 by 640. I just noticed that. The aspect ratio is like, is that 640 by 4? Oh, I know what's happened. My input is actually 16:9, so it got squished. That's what it is. There you go. Took me a while for my brain to like engage, guys. Sorry about that. Lee Poznowski says, wouldn't I2V give look and consistency just the same? No. It'll start the same and then it will go into its model memory. So in other words, you know how when you do forward prediction, it needs more and more of the model to go into the future. So like, that's often why you'll see it become less like the original first image as the generation gets longer and longer until eventually it collapses. And so what we're doing is we're regenerating the keyframes using a locked latent, and then a guide image that's based on you just see what I mean, this canny map. And so in theory it remains consistent with itself and the guidance. So as you can see, I know it's stretched out. Do you know what? I wonder what would happen if we just stretched it out. Probably going to look weird. Yeah, we need to figure out how to get a 16:9 aspect ratio. So I wonder what the best way to do it would be. We'll come back to that. The biggest thing with this workflow is it's video to video, okay? So we're actually putting a video in, not an image. There is an image to video mode, but I'm not using it. Yesterday we looked at video, text to video, and then we put in the I've been doing LoRa testing, right? And it's pretty good, but it seems like the FusionX stuff makes LoRa's quite weak. But that's okay, because the base model is actually really good. Zanelli says the model actually maintains consistency from a first image in a single generation throughout all of its frames. Yeah, that would be a new thing though. That wasn't always the case. I always talk generally speaking in terms of the wider technology ecosystem, because the thing is that this WAN model is a new thing, and only recently was image to video actually good. It used to fall apart or just turn into something random for the longest time. So you are right, but I'm trying to sort of put it into the wider context, because I don't know who's going to be watching. I know a lot of you guys are like hardcore power users by this point, but there are some newbies, so I try to kind of keep it simple. But the most important thing you need to know is that WAN 2.1 T2V14B is the model. VACE is like the control net system that is able to be used for the, all of the guidance stuff for the video to video and the image to video. And then as far as I know, FusionX is actually like a kind of hyper lightning speed up type distill type thing. So it's a LoRa which you can apply separately. So you can get the T2V14B VACE and load FusionX LoRa with it, but there's pros and cons to that. So I want to load in a LoRa with my checkpoint, so I figured it would be safer to use the combined checkpoint, as that was what I wanted to do. It just feels like it's cleaner, but the nature of a distilled thing, well, look, what does that actually mean, Drift? It means you can run 8 steps with 1 CFG. That was the beauty of what we figured out yesterday. Lee Poznowski is saying, with Keyjai's new self-forcing LoRa, you can do 4 steps with good quality and motion, and you can mix LoRas better than FusionX. That's cool. Like I said, we hope to take a look at all different competing things. As I pointed out, yesterday? I think we had 20 different video generation models in the last 30 days from one guy that does the GGUFs on only the popular ones. So at this point, I don't even bother looking for the new stuff anymore. I'll be real. Because what happens is, the new stuff comes out, and within 24 hours, the hype machine has already selected its winner. And then the community argues about it for a couple of days. And then I go, oh look, everyone wants to look at this. And then we make that. And we don't waste our time with 25 other offshoot, spin-off, fine-tune, experimental things that Dragon knows what I'm talking about, because he's been doing a lot of it in the chat. He keeps on, hey, I checked this out, and a lot of the time it is snake oil, So keep an eye on Dragon's posts to keep up on that. What? It seems better than CauseVid, which is in FusionX. Yeah, it seems like FusionX is like a merge of a bunch of stuff. But I do like FusionX. It's looking good. The reason I like it is because it's actually got a reasonable speed on it. So I think I accidentally closed a tab, so I gotta do that again. So yeah, oh yeah, that was it. We were going to change the aspect ratio. I forgot all about it. At the moment, we're using an SD aspect ratio, which is actually okay, because that's what I use on my when I train. I trained them in 480p actually, but the input image is a 720p ratio. So what I'm thinking is, just to get a little bit more control over the composition, because at the moment it does match. It's just it's squished. So then it's kind of redrawn over the squished. But anyway, once you do all of the bits and pieces, you end up with something like that. And like I said, I've been working on various things all day on other machines, and I've just had this cooking. And what I found is that we're sitting on a treasure trove of input video. We know how to train our own LoRa's. So we're going to do a little bit more, something more experimental in a minute, but I just want to take you through some of the outputs because I'm curating those down. So, let's see, I think we were there. Oh, what the hell? They changed sides or something. Right. Yeah, sure. Right. Yeah, I didn't like that one. 63. So 63 can go. Oh, that was unfortunate. There was another one at the back there as well that was crap. Was that 64, was it? Yeah, 64 and 63. Whoa, why is this so long? Why is this 50? Why is this 57? What? How did I do that? I've got a clip here that's a minute long, but it's all, they're all the same though. I must have hit loop. I must have hit the loop button or something on the save, because these are all exactly the same. Hold up. Okay, here we go. That needs to be played in reverse, but otherwise it's great. That one looks good. It looks like a video game trailer. Well, until it starts like glowing green. It's because I've got glowing green neon underlights or something, and it's getting confused about what that means. Sometimes it gets it right, other times it doesn't. But the actual output is really good. So, like I said, and it was quick as well. And you can see the camera angle is here. It's the same video driver. You know, it starts behind, pans around. I was testing to see how much variation I would get from using the same input with different seeds. Same prompt, same everything. All we did was change the seed and roll again. So as you can see, it's the exact same camera angle. Later on, I start mixing up the input video. But at first I was like, I only had the one. And that's when I realized, because we generate a lot of AI video, we can use our AI video as the driver. It's perfectly fine. Just get your best outputs and use those. That's a really good one. Looks like a TV ad. It's funny, it's like I know exactly what the camera's going to do because it's the same thing every time, but it's still different though. It's a different video every time. Car's a bit different, lighting's a bit different, location's a bit different. Kind of looks a bit like GTA, but better graphics. It's like it looks a bit more gritty, like found footage or something. So it will eventually move on to something. There we go. We got different input effects now. So I'm using different input videos from the collection that I had. I think we do 2 of the same motion and then change. So take the same motion. Maybe not. Oh wait, yeah, it is. It just got confused. Yeah, same thing, but different video. And this is sort of like the lead-in for the next big project as well, which we're going to have fun with. Look at that. It even got the car cutting in front, which is from the original guidance. I thought it would get confused with having a thing going in front of the thing, but it didn't. Different body kit. Oh yeah, I need to cut those out. I started making these comparisons and it screwed everything up. It didn't like the fact that it's like CPU and GPU mixing. It didn't like it. Dirty pickles. That's a bit slow. 49's a bit slow. 50's also confused. That one's alright. That one's really good. Whoa. He's going to do it again. Neon. Very cool. Whoa, it's like Top Gear. Damn. So 49 and 50 sucked so far. So out of like 80 videos, we've had 2 that suck. Oh, 57. That's 5 now. That one's good. Oh no, the video is missing. I deleted it. I think we're nearly at the end. I thought there were 80 of them. What happened to the rest? Oh, no, it's 65. Okay. So yeah, like I say, the 57th had a car going backwards. 49 and 50 were just a bit slow, so the background wasn't moving quick enough. Apart from that, so the hit ratio is good. That's what you get with a control net, you know, good hit rate. So, but like I said, I've made a bunch of cars, right? They're all ready to go into a playlist. We'll get rid of these though. Right, and there was also we never put that in. There was also just using text to image, not video to video, and what you get is you get a lot of stuff like that from that prompt. That's what you get without the LoRa loaded. You see what I mean? Did I could do any without the prompt? No. This is the prompt for the highway. So like the video that we're using to actually to do the guidance is that first prompt, right? So this kind of footage, but with my LoRa loaded. Yeah, when you load my LoRa, you get videos like this, right? And then I'm using them to drive the next thing with a different LoRa again. And so it got me thinking, you know, first thing, I want to clean up this workflow a bit because it's fine. It's just, I probably lay it out a little bit different. I haven't touched the top part, you know. I was like, wow, it works. It's a bit weird though, you know, it's like all squished. If you actually put a video in here, there's no room. Anyway, let's see. Seems like a mix for me. FusionX and self-forcing have been giving me good generations. Yeah, we'll look at what Kijai is doing, you know. But a lot of people are searching for FusionX, and everybody knows that WAN VACE is the current favorite in the open source. I appreciate there's stuff like Seed Dance coming down the line, but until that actually comes out, my go-to is image to video with WAN 14B, and we do a lot of LoRa training. And like I said, this is coming out pretty good. Some of them are really good actually. So remember, we've switched from my effect LoRa to the style LoRa, which is a slightly different output. Seems to be having trouble with Ferrari here. I might put it back to white Subaru and see what we get. Or maybe we'll do white Mitsubishi. No, yellow Mitsubishi Evo drift car. And then it should say darkness, but the original LoRa was trained wrong. My bad, typos. I changed it with Dackerness. I'm going to take out the drifting sideways round type ends. I'm just going to say at high speed around type ends. And I'm going to take out the underlit with green neon lights and just say the red glow of the brake lights cuts through the fog in the darkness. Yeah. And then, like I said, because this is, you know, mountain racing, right? but then I'm doing city racing for the input. So, and I was also thinking, right, if I wanted to generate good video for training, I only actually need 2 seconds, because 3, 4, 5 second clips just take longer to train. It's just more costly to train. You're going to cut them up into 2 second clips anyway. So I was wondering, you know, maybe that's something else to think about as well. So that's generated. I haven't even deliberately tried to teach him how to do drifting yet. All I've done is focused on trying to get it to do what we want. The annoying thing about this clip is a car appears driving the wrong direction at the last minute. Otherwise, that's a solid clip. So I'm going to try that one and see what it does with it. I think what it'll do is it will actually see that the car is sideways here, and it will just make the world fit the position of the car. So then as the car is drifting, it won't be, it's just going around a corner. Do you see what I mean? I've got a feeling that he's going to... Anyway, we'll find out. So what else did I actually do here? We've loaded the LoRa, obviously. We're running the VACE Q8GG UF. We're using UMT scale. We're using the standard WAN. I put it on 64480, 81 frames, 8 steps for 1 CFG on UniPC with simple. My denoise is 0.8. If I put it to 1, it still works, but I found it was more coherent with what I was giving it. Occasionally it will break out because it's just too much denoise. I put it on 0.75 as well. I think lowering it will make it more like the original question mark, but it's all about the prompt. If the prompt doesn't really make sense, I don't think it's gonna... Anyway, this is all normal stuff, right? The real tricks come later. So we had a little experiment with the new comfy save video node as well, which is interesting. You drop your images and audio, if you want, into a new node called Create Video, and that gives you a frame rate selection, and then here you have it, save video. I've done it the old way as well. I mean, it is nice that you can press play on it and, you know, they don't all just play all the time, sucking up the memories. But yeah, so anyway, I pushed that down. I grabbed the resolution of the actual final output and went into cathode ray for fluctuating noise over time. And then we've gone to RAI 49 with the trick I showed you guys before, which is the triple into 60 from 16 frames, which gives it a slight slowdown, but it's way, way, way smoother. And then finally we do the upscale. I got a new trick for the upscale part. Because it's video, when you're doing 60 FPS for 4 seconds, that's actually quite a lot of frames, okay? You know, because we've obviously gone 60 frames, and it's, like I said, 4 seconds or whatever it is you're generating in. You could be talking about 240 frames. So I've come up with this new way, and it's kind of weird, but it works. So what we do is we put a batch manager, but only on the last set, right? So I've done file name, so off the interpolation video combine, I do the file name select method. So we do select file name, collect it to the output of the video combine, put that into the load video path. You don't have to put 60 FPS here, you can leave it all empty, but I did because I'm superstitious. And then I got meta batch manager, but only about things like that. And then meta batch manager frames per batch, I just set it to 60. So we connect this to the load and we connect it to the final video combine, so that when we do our video upscaling, it's going to do it in batches of 60 frames no matter how long the video is. So it'll just cut it up into as many chunks as it needs to. The reason it seems a little bit haunted is because I thought it would literally just take this and do that here, right? Break it up into bits and upscale it, which it does, but it's kind of strange how it does it, because it seems to actually pull from every other video in little bits. Look, see? It's taking a little bit of this video to do a little bit of this video, and then it's going to take another little bit from there and then through here, and then through. So I don't know how I did it, but somehow it's controlling the whole. I thought it would just do this bit, but it's actually split the whole workflow in a much more efficient way somehow. So I don't know, but the point is it works great. As you can see, we've got our upscale. I'm using bilinear, by the way, because I like the blurriness. I'm trying to make it look like a retro TV, so I use like VHS effects and stuff like that all the time. But I use bilinear deliberately with a weave on the rows to try and make it look like, you know, cathode ray, like an old TV, not like pixels. I do so many things to try and get it. I want it to look crappy and old. It's getting close. It's getting close. Probably just needs a bit more film grain. But yeah, if you zoom right in on it, you can see that the problems I've got right now are color palette related. See how it's like splooging everywhere? So that's it. It's just it looks fine when you get it to here, but it just wouldn't pool like that. It wouldn't pool like weird paint, like melty paint. I don't know. We'll get there. So yeah, like I say, that's the bottom line, I guess. If we take a look at the original video again, it did what I thought it would do, didn't it? See, there was a car drifting, and then a car appears from nowhere. So what did we get? We got... yeah, see? It just made the road fit the motion. Do you see how I predicted it? There it is. You know, the car with the guidance was drifting, but it doesn't understand that, so it just made the road work. It made the world fit the motion that we gave it. Yeah? That makes sense. That's actually a pretty good example of what's going on, really. So it's going to find the best thing it knows in latent space to match the guidance that you gave it, and then obviously you're styling it with your pre-trained LoRa, and then you're running it with the video. And so I hope you can realize by this point why I bought a new electric remote control car. It's not to play with, it's to film it. I'm going to film it, and I'm going to use the car footage as guidance, and then we're going to get a rocking prompt, and we're going to get a really nice cinematic LoRa for like car race scenes. Because I've got this weird theory. I think it'll work. I don't know how good it will be, but I think that when you get all of these elements under control, I think you could actually like film Hollywood race scenes with a remote control car and put in GoPros or cameras everywhere. And obviously it would take a lot of practice and a lot of takes and a lot of hard work, but it would be cheaper than doing it with a real car. And I think that one day, if not today, but soon, it'll look good enough. And so it's basically a stunt prop, isn't it, for special effects. So anyway, you'll be seeing more of that. Like I said, the batteries are charging at the moment. I haven't had a chance to get it out and do anything with it. But as I saw this, I thought, because we've got a bunch of well-trained LoRa's done for car stuff. And, you know, when I look at the original video, and let's just put them next to each other. Oh, wait, hang on, I need to... Yeah, okay. It's matching. Okay, the frame rate's changed, and the composition actually makes more... It's actually made sense of it in a way. It's still lacking a bit. But you know what? I'm actually using the wrong LoRa right now. So let me just switch it over to... Oh, I think that LoRa might actually be... No, I retrained it. Hang on. See, video of drift style. So I'm using the drift style prompt and the drift style LoRa with the guidance from the output of a different LoRa. So, what was it called? XJX Car WAN. I think I made a whole bunch of different versions of it. Which was the one? V3. I hope V3 was actually good. V3 Epoch 1. Let's try that. And then I'll need an XJX car prompt. XJX Tokyo Racer 0. WAN V3, that's the one. So So I'll just drag that in, and I'll have 10, 16. Let's have 16. Zanelli says, yeah, as long as you somewhat prompt for motion, you can put in some fairly abstract inputs and control will try to make it work. I was making weird tunnel videos, just using simple shapes that move towards the camera. Nice. Yeah, see, that's the thing. See, I got a bit of a plan for making these up. These look good, and we're going to throw something together, because this will be, I want to do text to image first, and then I was hoping to get some image to image stuff, which is what we're going to do next, right? That's what we're going to work on next. I'm going to polish up these workflows and push them out while these are cooking. Probably won't get 16 done because I want to do something else. But yeah, the idea would be, just look at that, it's like it's funny. It's funny. So what I'm going to do is we're going to test the image version with Sharona stuff. So this should get good. Let's see, Sharona. Right. We're not going to use that one. We're going to use control. Dudes, this is what this is what I made it for. Spent all that time. This is what I made it for. Here it is. So what are we using? Canny. Yeah, of course, but I actually put out one image at a time, not the whole sequence. So we're going to have to make a special version that's video that puts out the whole thing. Oh, interesting. It's very tricky, isn't it? There's all these different moving parts. But yeah, it's this image which I want and the prompt. So I'll take the image and the prompt like that. And then that's, you know, most of it done, isn't it? And then it's like, okay, now what motion do I want? So make a rollerblade. Make her fight like Spider-Man. See, that's the thing. I don't think I've got any. Oh wait, no. We're not doing image input, are we? We're doing, of course. I get confused myself. There we go. So it's just. Yeah, it's just that. That's all it is. 0.8. Let's put 0.75 for now. Now the only thing is, will the prompt actually have anything? It might have some motion in there. See, I just had like a thought leap. So I was thinking about how I've got my Zenkai control prompt, which has got my pre-baked images and control net images for prompts. I need to make a video version of it for the video thing, blah, blah, blah. And as I was thinking about it, I realized I need a prompt enhancer for WAN. And of course, we've got loads of those. And then I was thinking about what's the best way to do a prompt enhancer for WAN. It's obviously the agent I just wrote a couple of days ago. You know what I mean? We already did this, and it's a desktop app, so I could just pop it open and use that. But I'm wondering about ways of doing it in-app, and I've got a bit of a challenge on for the next 12 days outside of credits I've already bought. So, like, if you got a membership with something, you know, you got to use up the credits. I'm not stupid, but I'm going to try my best not to just immediately jump onto Claude or ChatGPT or anything paid. I want to try and do it local as much as possible. So maybe we can start trying to put that into some practice here. Got no Olama. LLM, no. How come I don't have an open? I don't have an Olama module on this thing. Didn't I make one? Nah, it would have come up anyway. Okay, so I'm missing the custom nodes. What I was going to do, I was going to get a custom node that would talk to Olama, and then I was going to get Quen3 to do the prompt enhancement for me. But it's like extra step side quests galore. So if it's not there right now, I don't even remember the name of the the repo we use. Okay, so we've got Comfy UI Llama, which is Llama Killer. What the heck? Llama Killer! I think it actually kills Llama, though. I mean, it looks like it's the top one, guys. It hasn't updated. Oh, wait, no, it's updated. It's updated. Alright. He spelled comfy with a P, which I've never seen before. See, comfy? He spelled comfy with a P. I'm not, you know, look, I mistype all the time, so I can't say much. Alright, we'll restart in a minute. So for now, we'll just do it as is. Because I got loads more setting up to do it, because that's not it, right? I don't like how all of this is set up here. So. Clean it up. Right, we don't need groups for the model. We don't need. We're never going to turn any of that off. See, right. It's much better already. Now, what's this thing? It's almost good, right? So let's just pull that down, and then this is required. So we only actually need one group for the video to video, and one group for the image, and then that's my quick controls, and then that's my control prompt. Okay, right, whatever. Now, what's this say? Markdown note. Right, I'll put that under there. Now, what's this one then? This one's going to be... This is going to be the Sharona image to video. Yeah. Yeah, Comfy UI, the de-distilled version, says Gerard Benji. Yes, exactly. It's the de-distilled version. Undistilled. That's right, I need more sludge. I don't want all this clean UI stuff. I like that fuzzy sludge. Give me the undistilled version. No filter. That's funny. So where are we going to put our cool hot switch? I guess I'll put it there. Or just move it down. Like a little burger going on. Alright, so what's this? Yeah. Cool. Notes kind of redundant. So yeah, if we just clean this up a little bit. Let's see, there's your LoRa loader. Prompts. That'll be the model shift. Project name. Yes. Yeah, that's better than that. Yeah, it looks good. It's like Feng Shui. I'll mess up my Feng Shui. All the groups placed with intent. But what does it mean? Is the artist trying to talk to you? Is he trying to tell you something? He's trying to tell you to read the wiki. You can replace this with another preprocessor. That means I can use open pose. So yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'm the big open pose fan, so I gotta do it. Alright. So, right, like I said, in case you tuned in late, This isn't captions to prompt list. This is WAN VACE FUSIONX. WAN VACE. Well, in fact, let's just be real here. WAN 14B VACE and then FUSIONX for the speed. And this is the first speed we've had, which I like, because all the other stuff was nonsense with sage attention and messing around. And like I said, it's got to be easy for the user. You can't assume that your users are developers, you know. Like, we're designing a car for people who don't drive. Huh? That's not a bad idea. It's probably going to need some room to do other stuff anyway. It's alright. It's alright. Node CD. What are you looking at here? Have I missed anything? No. Fernicar says Dragon Oil. Yeah, I think I managed to catch all your comments. So like I said, let's just go back over to what we're doing here. Oh, it's the same one again? No, that's not running. That's not even running. It's this one. Oh, did you see that? It just changed instantly. So I got some ideas for how I want to do the edit on this. Because you can do this trick where you blink the first frame of all 3 videos, or blink the first frame of 4 videos in large size, and then show all 4 playing as a grid. And then loop it and jumble the loop up. Like I said, there's stuff I want to try. It's so funny that it's coming from this thing. It's such a crappy input video. See, that doesn't even fit there. You see, this is my like little pet peeve, I guess you could say. Anyway, let's get back to where we're at, because I want to make sure we got this. Oh my! That wasn't me. Let's see if we can get back home. Why did it make everything so small? Look at this, it's tiny. I can't even read that. Wait, oh, I know what's happened. Has Windows zoomed in? There's this browser zoomed out. It's lagging like hell now. It's like zoomed out to 20k or something. I can't even see the buttons anymore. Do I have to... No, I have to zoom in on something that doesn't... There. I have to zoom in on the menu, not everything else, and then I get comfy back. I must have had control when I mouse wheeled on the menu. See, if you mouse wheel on the menu, look, I went, oh, oh no, into the microverse. Still too big. Okay. Alright. So this is actually looking nice. And there's a couple of options here, obviously, right? I like this. This is cool and all, but everyone's used to video combined, so it seems like a waste to have them both. Yeah, I'm just going to get rid of this one. It's cool that it's got a native thing, but I think this one gives you better options anyway. So we're just going to go with this one. So that's your initial output. Oof. And obviously by using these, you can say, oh, I don't want to do any of that extra crap, or you can delete it, or you can tweak it, or you can change the effects. Up to you. But I just run them all anyway. Really, the only choice you have, to be honest, is like, do you want this one or this one? As a matter of fact, we don't need that there, because you always want that. You need that to do all this, I think. No, wait, it comes off there, so I'm wrong. But still, I'm going to leave it. So let's just check this. Is this looking good? No. So this needs to be proper link. Let's see. Yeah. Civitai. AI. Okay, so we're going to call this WAN VACE FUSIONX. Video to video. V2V. V20. I think that'll be it. Don't I call it WODA? Why didn't I call WAN WODA? Oh well, too late now. I missed a trick there. It can happen to the best of us. So what we'll do, save it, export it, save it as a PNG with an embedded workflow, rename that to match the workflow, put it in the inside line, and then that is 1 of 3 done, minimum. So if you want this workflow, it's now available on the inside line. Links in the description. Join our Discord. Okay, cool. It will be going up on GitHub momentarily, but if you want it fastest, you always want to just join the Discord and check inside line. That's where I put all of my prototype stuff that's good enough to go out, but not actually in a pack yet. There's quite a few bits and pieces like that. They all add up over time. It is on 2x right now, but that's because I am doing a 480p. So obviously if I was doing a 720p, I would use only a scale of 1.5 to get to HD. Yeah, simple stuff like that. Right, what's next? We need to sort the other one out. So this, crap. This isn't video to, well, it is video to video, but it isn't. This is actually text to video LoRa. I've just realised it's the wrong bloody one. Well, there's another reason why the inside line comes out quicker. That is not even labelled right. So this is actually T2V LoRa. We'll call it V22 because I messed it up. And just do that again, and then we'll get the proper one. Release that. This is always the fun. This is the fun. Do it again. Export PNG. It's like, do it, immediately realise it needs one little change. Do it again. Okay, done. And then I'll delete the other one because it's not, well, it still works, it's just not what it says it is. So I'm going to make the right one now. So let's see, this is text to video with LoRa, and then what's this one? That one is also text to video with LoRa. That one also text to video. Why are they all the same? What's going on? Is it trolling? Aha, here we go. What happened there? He kind of held the drift for a second there. And look, no additional car, because it didn't make any sense. So, I mean, we're getting good footage. Good footage. It's like, that's usable, because the thing is, right, you're not always making videos like for the video to be the main focus. Sometimes you're making video to go in a screen on a TV in a scene that you've already got, or you want to put text in front of it, like an advert or some call to action for some campaign or something, right? So it's not always, and also we've looked at special effects before as well, like glitching, you know, doing all kinds of artistic overlays and silhouette subtraction and, you know, all this sort of stuff, right? And so it's like, if you've got something that looks this good, there's a lot that we can do to cover up the fact that it's not perfect. And so my main weapon in my arsenal is retro looks. I go to try and make it non-square pixel. I try to emulate VHS. I apply a shitload of noise, bloom, halation, all that stuff. And what it does is it kind of brings it together. There's also a chromatic aberration on here, quite a lot of it as well if you look. There's quite a lot quite a lot of chromatic aberration right there, but I like the look of it, you know. So I do tend to add it into my because it's like the whole trying to emulate old looks, old TV, because it's easier to achieve 480p, guys. It's like obvious when you think about it. Yeah, so that's basically my main thing, because it's actually like it's definitely better than SD. It's approaching HD. So if you take what it is and like dirty it, because what was it? Was it Toy Story, where the reason it was so good was because it wasn't clean, and they actually spent more time making everything look all dirty and grimy and dusty and stuff, and that's why the CGI was successful or something. It didn't look like CGI at the time, it looked realistic. Oh, we got a dashboard. What the hell? How low is that car? Oh no. It's like a go-kart or a mobility car. Yeah, that didn't work. But anyway, this isn't what I want to do anyway. So this is the video to video workflow. This is the video to video workflow. Rather than cleaning it up, because it's just the same workflow, really. We'll go back to the last one, make a few changes and resave this. So for example, I bet most people won't even have this, so I'm just going to delete it. And then I'll just enable control video tab, like that. Reconnect this, because it's optional, so it doesn't matter if it's disabled, it won't come into play. And then that is now the video to video, because they're all the same workflow, really. Kind of funny, really. We have T2V, we'll say V25. In fact, just do it 22, because they're all the same, like I say. They're all the same. But everyone will say, but where's the image to image version? So it's easier for me to just click the button and make 3 of them than to explain it forever. There we go. Give it a rename. I don't know why I called it T2V again. I've got a bad habit, haven't I, guys? I just called it T2V when I know that one's V2V. I must be insane. Alright. V2V, Laura. Sort that name out there, shall we? Why do it's so strange to do that? Okay. Push that one out. And then the last one would be the image to video. So that obviously you guessed it, it would be that. There. It feels like cheating. Feels like cheating. Whoops. Hit the wrong button. It's the same workflow. Okay. I have added them all to the Discord. If you have a join link, it is in the description. Go ahead and scoop it. Okay. I think that now it's time to go ahead and throw it up. So if you don't like the Discord, don't worry, I've got you covered. We're going to throw it up in the GitHub as well. I have my DJZ Nodes not DJZ nodes, DJZ workflows, which has got all my workflows. There's probably, I don't know, someone should count. There's probably a lot of them now. And to be honest, these are just the ones I've had the time to actually add. We do our best. So let's see, if I go down to the WAN section, here's our WAN video, VACE WAN video, look. So now what I guess we'll do is we'll do WAN VACE FUSIONX. Yeah. WAN VACE FUSIONX. Dragon Diffusion says there was a repo which I need to find again that was not working yet, but they put an LLM in Comfy and you prompted what workflow is meant to make. Yeah, listen, whenever I make a custom node, Dragon, every time I make a custom node with LLM, it gives me an example workflow. So LLMs have been able to make workflows forever, but they're bad because they don't know what you have and they only know what they learned. So it's like, I don't, because the thing is like, the pace of custom nodes moves quicker than the LLM knowledge. So like, I'm not going to sit there and train the LLM on all of the different nodes that came out this week. I ain't got time for that. So it's cool. Like you'll see what I mean. If you use it, it will make funky workflows which work, but it's using like ancient nodes and piecing everything together. Yeah, I don't want it to scan my node directory, mate. I got like private. This is the other thing as well. Do I really want somebody's LLM scanning my work? No. There's privacy issues. But it's not even that. Some of them I'm working on for clients, so you can't just have some LLM come in and look, in a safe environment for fun. Cool, man. You know, yeah, the LLMs can make nodes, they can make workflows, but whenever I look at these workflows, in fact, you know what? Let's take a look at one right now. Let's take a look at one. Enough talk. I'm a show and tell guy. So let's show. Let's see. Have I got? It's not that. Hang on. It's not even in a. This isn't even in a repo. This isn't even in a repo. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, it's installed though, which means the node's actually on my machine, and I can show you what it is without any trouble. So here we go. All right. Yeah. There's the node. Doesn't work. Don't worry about it. Do you know what I mean? But it came with a workflow. Okay. So the node, because this is extremely experimental. I'm screwing around with rope here. Because basically it's a DIT model. You can't do UNet stuff. So the old stuff that used UNet doesn't work with Flux. So you have to come up with a new way. I was messing around with rope embeddings. It didn't work. Bottom line, it didn't work. So it's not like, you know, there's no secrets here because it didn't work. Do you know what I mean? But what I'm trying to point out is that in the process of making that node, it made me a workflow. And so I want to show you that workflow because it's a bloody good example of what you get. And obviously it's the worst it'll ever be. So like there will be a time in the future where I'm turning around and saying, oh yeah, I make all my workflows with AI now. It's just not there yet. The quality isn't there yet in my opinion. But one day, yeah, because it's just JSON. It's just JSON. Do you know what I mean? It's not like magic. So he understands JSON already, 100%. So let's get a folder over here. Oi, stop being so secretive. So yeah, if I come over here and I go into my custom nodes, why is everything always out of order? There we go. Custom nodes, and then we go down to there. Here we go. Here it is, right? I did. Look at me with the installation guide. Anyway, here's the example workflow. You ready? Okay. Look at this. Workflow validation. 4 is funky. Target 9 inputs 1 link is not correct. Is 9. But origin 3 output links it contains patch target 9 inputs 1 link is defined. Removing 4 from origin 3 is just going insane. It's going insane with what it's built first. So let's just pull this apart. Save image. VAE. Yeah, fair enough, right? Fair enough. Did you notice something as well there, guys? Have you ever seen a workflow where it puts the VAE here like this? Have you ever seen that before? Have you ever seen a workflow like that? And then I'm like, no. But how many times have you seen this kind of setup where everything just barely fits? It's overlapping. Yeah, this is the AI hand. This is currently the signature of an AI workflow, right? It was like all bunched up. Here, let's just load it in again fresh so you can see before I move it all around. Yeah. So look at the precision. Look at the precision. So there's an overlap which is always the same. So you get stuff like this. It's not always going to be like that, by the way. But I'm just saying, like, and also look what he did. This is so funny. Look what he did to load the checkpoint. He used diffusion model loader, where you type the name of the model in. I've never ever seen that in all my years. I've never ever seen that. I don't think it's real. I think he's just made it up somehow. Okay. And then here's my node, which goes in between the model and the K sampler, right? Which is fine. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, it reeks of built by math. Yeah, it does, exactly. Yeah, this is why it's funny. This is why I'm showing it to you guys. So here's the node. So it tried to load diffusion by, I don't know, making a thing and putting the file name in it, model output, done. So I've never seen that before. And then it did know clip, but it only knows single clip, right? So it can only know, look, he did clip loader, but remember, Flux is dual clip. So how does he get his other clip in? Well, I'm glad you asked. He does it like this. He does T5 loader and names the file name for the clip model, and then he gets extra models T5 texting code and puts the same prompt in there. So now we've got I've never even seen this in my life either. Like, what the hell? I didn't know you could do it. Anyway, so he's somehow ended up with Flux guidance gets the clip T5. See, Flux guidance gets the T5, and then the positive and negative, no, and then the negative is coming from clip L. Sorry, clip L positive. We didn't get it. We'll get him next time. Yeah. And then the empty latent is fine. Everything else is fine. But just, he screwed this up, this bit here. He screwed this bit up so royally that I'm like, yeah, I'm sure that generative workflows are going to be big. But it's kind of like looking over the top and going, not yet. Not yet. Maybe just keep an eye on that one. Because this is all kinds of messed up. He did a good try, though. Didn't he have a good try? I think he had a good try. I think it was a valiant effort, but ultimately it's not going to pass. Like, it's technically correct, but it's not how it's actually done at all. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously the way to fix it is you just get a dual clip loader, right? That's what he wanted. He wanted the dual clip loader with the clip L and the T5. It's like, this is what I mean. He's technically correct, but also not correct. And so we go like that, and then it's there. Then it's fine. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. You see what I mean? He just screwed the pooch there, and then of course he doesn't know I used Jajuff, does he? Bless him. So this is, I can do that, can't I? I can say, oh, well, I'm going to use Shot Jaguar. Don't worry about that, mate. And then it's fine. So, well, okay, maybe it's not completely fine. This looks a bit weird. Like, I'm not sure what that's about. Could be about right. I don't know. It seems like it's still missing something. What's it missing? Shift? Flux shift? What do we call it? Model sampling flux. Yeah. See, there was also no model sampling flux. And that obviously requires, you know, the size. So yeah, usually I'd get an aspect V2, which I'll use to plug into there. It doesn't help me with the width and height here, though. blast. Blast. Confound it. I think I'll probably just do it like that. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. And then put it on SDXL, and then we're good to go. Anyway, I don't mean to teach you guys how to suck eggs. But the point is, it was a funky workflow because it was generated by an LLM, a good LLM, but he just isn't good enough with that, because how can he know? Do you know what I mean? How can he know what the nodes that we have are and stuff like that? If he built it all out of core nodes, it would have been fine, but he didn't. For some reason, he struggled to find things like he didn't know there was a dual clip loader. And that means that his knowledge of Comfy UI might predate SD3. I think. I don't know, didn't SDXL have a dual clip? Yeah, I think it did. So, God, it might be really old then. Who knows? Oh, who's talking to me? Nope, sorry, my guy. I'm busy. Right, so let me see. Let's get back on track. Say no. Just say no. What's this? Okay, so we've got the 14Bs done. I want to do some image stuff now. Where's the one that I had hooked up with Sharona? Sharona. Where is she? It's all cars everywhere. All cars all the time. Whoa, that was pretty good. That actually looks very realistic. Like, it's still not quite good enough, but it's getting very, very good, considering this is like the free one that you run on your computer, not the big cloud for 75 cents per second. You see what I mean? Oh, it's doing a different one already, is it? Oh no, there's a van driving backwards. He's doing a face-off with the truck. Oh, so close. That's real road rage. It's like super confrontational. Okay, so that was the original blueprint. So we've sorted that out. This is the highway racing stuff. What happened to Thora? Or Sharona? Where she go? Why have I got like 1 billion of them? No. Yes, it's this one. Right. Is it? No. I'm trying to change tabs. I hate tabs. I hate tabs. God. Just annoying. Get rid of this. We already looked at this. Goodbye. Yeah. Get rid of that. Yeah. Get rid of that. Right. What's this? Cancel it. Lost interest now. Yep. We're moving on. Yeah. Right. I want to do image to video because we didn't actually test image to video proper. Yeah. So I've got my super cool, extremely developed, lots of time put into RDM Sharona V4. But this is where we're like, let's restart the thing. Also, audio. Everyone was going wild because, you know, you could get audio with your video. Us in the open source community have had audio for some time. And yeah, sure, it doesn't like make your Bigfoot start talking in an Australian accent, but you can do like sound effects and stuff. So it's always a good point to remember audio, which is also one of Kijai's repos. He did a wrapper for it. You put the video in, it'll try to guess what's in the video and add sound effects appropriately. Sometimes it does a really good job, sometimes it doesn't. It's like that. But you can just do it again because it's got like a, you know, seed system. So how are we doing on the restart then, mates? No, not yet. Not yet. You need to zero out the negative prompt, says Dragon. Yes, that was the one thing I was like getting all weird about. I think the reason I left it in was because it actually had a negative prompt. So I just hooked it up. But yeah, you're not wrong. Sometimes you've got to do conditioning, zero conditioning, zero out, which is a nice way to do it. You can just, you know, put that between and it will be empty. There's another way of doing it, so you can choose that it's only got the negative prompt for a couple of steps and then it's not being applied. There's a bunch of different things you can do there. What are we doing here? Are we actually going to reconnect tonight? Tomorrow? Huh? It's importing DSD components, apparently. I've never seen it do that before. Okay. Tim's is deprecated. Holy crap. Hopefully it doesn't break everything. Shader to tensor. So there's so much stuff that we need to cover and we just haven't had the time. Oh yeah, by the way, I will be driving to France tomorrow. Isn't that fun? I'll take some pictures. But the show goes on. Chances are I'll actually be back before we start tomorrow at 8. So I'll let you know if there's any problems. Not breaking something is not canon. It's true, Dragon. We didn't really break anything tonight, did we? But I suppose we did. See, the thing is, you didn't see me ooming the upscaler and creating that cool method down the bottom there to batch it out in 60 bits. You know, 60 frames. But it was ooming. Even on the 4090, it was ooming. Because, you know, 240 frames at 1080p, he can't handle that. It's kind of funny, really, when you think about it. Because I play, like, you know, when you play video games, they use AI to update all of the shaders and everything in the game. And it's, you know, it makes the game faster. So, you know, the game speeds up. It's not like you're waiting for the AI to load, you know what I mean? But then I guess it does do like it builds a shader cache, doesn't it? And that takes a while. And I was wondering, can I get a shader cache for Comfy? Because then I could like spend a couple of hours building a shader cache, and then whenever I want to generate, I could just use that and it'd be super fast, right? Isn't that essentially what all of these things which we keep getting are? I know shaders are hardware, but maybe we should write them. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud, like I'm just thinking off the top of my head. I've got no idea how to make that happen. But that's the thing. The idea is the beginning. Yeah? Like the idea is the beginning. If you don't even have the idea in the beginning, like you entertain the idea and that turns into a plan or research. And then if you discover something or make a breakthrough, now you've changed the way everything is done. There is an MDL CUDA shader library. Interesting. Because I was wondering about it. I was thinking, because think about it, right? We all use the stuff. And sometimes I wonder if the stuff that's in research is so much development that they don't actually use the stuff that's been already proven and released. So, like, you know what I mean? It's like a disconnect. And it might be that all you have to do is put the two things together. Like that. Often the biggest ideas come from improving something everybody uses or combining two things which are popular. Like that's like the two top recipes. So it's sort of like, yeah. The transformation. You got to have an idea, right? So anyway, we've got Sharona running this show now, but then we don't actually have a video. Yeah, again, I just went through the same process in my head again live. So yeah, like I said, I've got the image. Let's just give it a blast and see what happens. Oh boy. I forgot to change the project name. Bad juju. Bad juju. Sharona V4. We'll have 8. Okay. And then while it's doing that, Yeah, QuantStack actually released another model, by the way, while we were like trying to actually use the last one. And it's Phantom WAN. It's been out 6 days actually, but I just noticed that it came out on a different day. So technically the newest one is actually Phantom WAN 14B FusionX, but I never used Phantom yet. If you guys want to tell me what the difference was in the chat, that would save me a bit of time, because I don't know what the difference is between WAN and Phantom WAN. Is it a fine tune? Or is it some kind of control net features? Because I forget. And they never tell you. It's funny as hell. Like, where's the information? Let's go here. Nope. Okay, it's a text to video model built on top of WAN. So it's a fine-tuned WAN. It's fine-tuned. It's fine-tuned. And it uses all this stuff. See, do you know what? I was going to do an ACK video feature for you guys. Here, look. I'm going to show you this. This is so funny. This is what I talk about all the time. Look, ACK video, 8 times speed for Hunyuan. Video speed, April 3rd. Do you know why it never came out? Because it got applied to a different video model and another different, and it's like, do you know what I mean? Like, because I didn't release the model on the day, because I didn't release the article on the day I wrote it never came out. Because now you don't use that anymore. You don't use Hunyuan ACK video. It's been merged into what we're looking at tonight. Yeah, it's been merged into... I'll find it now. Where the hell's the thing gone? No. So distracting. That's not it. Anyway, whatever. I was trying to show you stuff and the tabs disappeared into the ether. But yeah, like I say, that's basically the long and short of it, guys. So like, what the hell happened there? Oh well, who cares? So I need to get this, and then I've got one more thing I need to do. So let's see, memories, no, it's time to move. Open folder, it's going to be a new one. Tools, Zero-Vector Delta. Zero-Vector 2 Delta. Okay. We'll ping back and look at the video result in a minute. You had a bloke walking with Thora walking in the... that was Phantom. Yeah, so it looks like Phantom is a fine-tune of VACE WAN. Phantom is old. It's just another type of FusionX. Okay. Because they're saying it's a fine-tune. Fine-tune with a bunch of LoRa's merged into it, basically. I think that's probably accurate. Alright. Git. Clone. Oop. Yeah. See, I wait for the gear to I wait for the Jujuf to come along, because Jujufs don't get made if things aren't good, because no one will download it. What would be the point? And word gets around. So, okay, CD space Zero-Vector server. What? What do you mean it doesn't exist? Oh, I see what's happening. I forgot to do the thing. This is why I always immediately reopen the thing I just cloned, if I want it to be the root directory, you know. It gets very annoying. Zero-Vector server, yes, and we want to do npm install. That's not a good sign. Ah, that's good. That's better. It was making me worry there. Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, what I like about this new WAN system is 8 steps. That means you can actually do stuff. It's still not quick like LTX. But it's quick. quicker than Hunyan and you get better motion, so I'm like, that's fine. You know, there doesn't seem to be any loss of quality as far as I can tell, because WAN has its own issues, you know, like with the runway, you get that funny sort of grill pattern on tree leaves in the distance. It's kind of like a mesh looking fuzz, pixelated, I don't know. It's not great, but you know, you get that with all of them really. Okay, so let's see. Diddly. Let's open up the README. Oh, hello. Hang on 2 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back. There was a knocking at the door. Okay, I had a visitor of my old man. Passport time, because yeah, driving to France tomorrow. Big French Johnson. That's what they say. Le baguette. Okay. Or is it la baguette? You'll have to let me know. Is a baguette feminine? Okay, so let me see now. Yeah, we're back where we were. Quality. So if I just scroll down the README, all I'm doing is following the README, the standard installation process for this thing here. I haven't said much about what it is because we've already covered it a lot as I've been developing it. But the main thing is, it now doesn't truncate memories on retrieval for some reason. I think it was trying to be helpful and limit the number of tokens coming back and forth out of the server, but I've made it so now it doesn't truncate memories. You can still ask it to and set a limit if you want, but default it won't anymore. And it has a new tool called retrieve full memory or something, or search or look up, whatever. Because the problem was, you know, if you want to use it for RAG, you can't have the RAG data getting cut off halfway through the information, because that means, you know, because it's in the server, but the MCP couldn't retrieve the whole content. That was the issue. So it was about how the MCP was actually retrieving the data from the vector store. Fun times that one. So I'll say test key, please. I want it to read and write. I want to do 1,000 requests per hour. I want it lasting for a year. And then it's going to give me my super cool API key, which I'll need in a minute. So this API key is purely to talk to, so the MCP has permission to talk to my memory store. Because what this is a memory NAS, a memory network access server. Currently it's all in local mode because I'm still developing it, but it works 100%. And then you can use natural language to command your agent who lives in the database, has his own system prompt and his own memories, okay? And it uses a knowledge graph with a vector database, so it's a true hybrid vector graph memory system. And the beauty is, it's all on API. So that means you could actually write software to interact with that persona once created and trained, just using API. So like any app can do that, any app you can think of. And it would be the same agent with the same memories, no matter what LLM you use. So the idea is to try and keep the knowledge of the agent agnostic from the provider. So if I'm using Sonnet or ChatGPT, I can take my agent with me and he can just use any LLM. So then you're not tied into a platform. You can't be like, oh, I trained the best agent, but it only works on ChatGPT. I'm not even going to invest my time in that. So I thought there's a better way, and that is to keep it separate, and I'm actually building towards a full remote implementation. So, but anyway, let's get on and test the truncation, because that's all bloody high and mighty crap. Let's actually look at this for real, yeah? So like I say, we have the API key. We're going to need that. So yeah. There's only one other thing we need, and that is an OpenAI embeddings key. OpenAI embeddings are super cheap. I think they've charged me like 1 cent for a week's worth of development, where I was making loads of embeddings, okay? More than I normally would, you know. And so it's very cheap. I was worried that it would be expensive, but it wasn't. You can do it locally, but you only get 512 dimensions as opposed to 1536. So a tripling of dimensions isn't a tripling. It's way, way more than that. It's like, it's actually beyond calculation. Well, it's not, but it's a big number. So it's bigger than 3x, put it that way. Triple. Tripling of a tripling of a tripling, but with 512. So what's 5? I'm not even going to get that. I'm not even going to try. It's some outrageous number. So yeah, like I say, I do now have to open up the Zero-Vector server ENV, because I need to put in my OpenAI API key. Okay, now I already got one. I've already got one. But it is real. Everything else you see is local only, or like irrelevant, or throwaway, or going to get changed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this one. Do this one over here. There. No, don't like that. Okay, we'll do it like this. There we go. Right, now I'm going to put this key in. Save that. Good. Close that. And now npm starto. So like I said, we have the key that's generated by the server for the MCP, and then we have the, you know, your OpenAI API key. I put $10 of credit on an account, and it hasn't even gone to $9.99 yet in a week. So I think it just means one of their cheapest services is the vector stuff. So, you know, I'm not even going to bother with local transformers, because the performance is huge and the cost is like nothing. So I'm like, yeah, that's reasonable. Just keep an eye on the charges in case they like, we're doing a deal or something sketchy, you know what I mean? But anyway, this server's now running, so open up the next terminal and we can move on to the MCP section. This bit's going to be much, much faster, thank God. So we do the install, it's practically instant because there's virtually nothing in it. All he does is puppeteer an API. Go into the MCP section, open up the ENV, take that, take this API key that we generate during install. Boom, there we go, and run it. And then your MCP is ready. Now there's a couple more things you need to do, but the easiest way to make sure it's running is just to open a third terminal and then run the curl command, because the curl command doesn't use the MCP. It communicates directly with the server that should be up now. And as you can see, the server is healthy, the database is up, the vector store is good. It's all green, right? So now, of course, you want to actually test the MCP. So we're going to go into the MCP folder. And again, because we've got it here, we can do test connection through NPM. And then it's going to give us a return, which looks like what the tool should say. So this is what you would have gotten if you were using the MCP tool and you said use the memory test connection with the, you know, it's going to give you this. So that is authentication API done, good. So you can also go to this address in a web browser, you know, /health. You can go there in a web browser and it'll say the same thing. It's all just different ways of confirming it. Okay. Now, from here, you don't actually need to have it all open anymore. Okay. So you're going to have to add it to to Climb. So I'm going to go into Climb. Obviously it's different for different IDEs, but for Microsoft, for VS Code with Climb, you go into the MCP section, and there's a snippet of code in the MCP README which you'll take as like a template, and you'll add it in to the Configure MCP servers in the Installed tab of the MCP. There's a little icon there, that's the MCP servers button, and then just tab, configure, and then it takes you to this local file here. It's got a funny name, Saudrizwan. But the point I'm trying to make is that in order to update this, because we're working with a development copy, so I just pulled down another copy, so I already have this installed, right? But if you remember, when I installed it, I called the project Delta, and that's so that I could just do this without having to change too much. But when you install it, you will have to use the address to your index.js in the MCP section, because I don't know where you install it. You could install it anywhere, right? But wherever you've installed it, just remember to put double slashes, and you want to go to MCP src index.js. That's the correct way to do it for the node args, okay? And then what that means is you don't actually have to run, you won't have to run this in here anymore. Because when VS Code starts up, that's what this green button is, that's what this green light is. It's running it in the background and keeping it alive for you, okay? So you won't, you know what I mean? So the only thing you actually have to start up is this one, yeah? So if you remember what that looked like, it was just npm start from the server. So you can do that outside code, VS Code as well. I recommend a batch script. So so you turn on the machine, if you've got Linux, make it a service, and then it will be on every time you start the box. So, right. So obviously at this point, I need to change this key, don't I? Because remember, we've got to remember, I'm trying to show you like the installation, and I've already got it on here, so but it is just a JSON, and you can just say, you can give him the snippet and say, this is my path, this is my key, can you make it work for me? And then give him the address to the file. The agent will do it all for you. Do you know the first MCP I ever installed was broken, and the instructions for the MCP was tell Claude to fix it. That's my first the first MCP I ever got. The developer's instructions were, when it breaks, tell Claude to fix it and it will be fine. And I was like, this is a whole new world. That was about maybe a year ago now. Time flies. But anyway, like I say, if we have done this now, just save it. So the path has been updated. Obviously for you, that'll just be the correct path. The key, which is what we used earlier, that's now in. Okay. So into two things. Now we'll restart VS Code, because obviously you do have to restart VS Code in order to get the changes. It caches a lot of stuff, you see. It's super clever for us. So we're going to go, no, I loaded the wrong thing. That's something else. Stuff gets shelved, boys and girls. So what we've got here, we're back. We're back in business. Right, so we're immediately going to double time into the Zero server and do npm start. Again, you don't have to do that in VS Code anymore, but I want it there in case we run into any bumps. I doubt we will, because I'm in like final testing mode, and technically the build was already pushed to the Git, so. But anyway, right, so here we are, we've done it, we're in, so why don't we test it? So I'm going to say we can create a new persona named Charlie. Ask me what other options I need. Alright, plan mode. It's from the same author as FusionX. Got it. Okay. I can create Charlie for you, but only the name is required, but I can create it with different settings. So you need a description, a system prompt, a temperature, a maximum tokens, the embedding provided. They all have defaults, right? Let's see, minimum 1 hour, no default. There's no default on memory decay. Right, so I'll go 1. Charlie drinks paint. Drinks paint. 2. System prompt. Charlie, let me just get a quick description from Sunny in Philadelphia real quick. I need a quick thingy here. So let's see. Oh, I could just ask Claude. Why am I being so stupid? What, am I going to look something up? It's 2025. Yeah, see, we got deep research now. Okay. What is it? Caps lock? Right. Write a system prompt. System prompt as a single line format. In single line format, which aims to emulate the character of Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Philadelphia. I can't spell. Isn't it Greek? Slingle. Emulat. We're doing well, guys. Deep research on. This is a noble use. For research, we're going to attempt to not get done in for copyright, number 1. Hopefully it'll be okay. I'll tell him I'm a fan if I have to. Lead researcher. God damn. Charlie Kelly. Conspiracy string map time. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's right, Jared. All this for a system prompt. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue all of the other stuff. We'll leave a little blank here while we let Claude do the work. So temperature, we will say 1.2, I think is nice. It's not too crazy, but it's a bit crazy. You should say, like, if Charlie drinks paint, his creativity level, it increases, but his token count, you know what I mean? I have, like, fun with it. His memory decay, yeah, his creativity increases, you know, to values higher than 1.5, but his memory decay decreases to values lower than 5 minutes, you know? Just to create an interesting dynamic in the agent programming. Be quite funny. So yeah, we'll just leave it on 2048, and then 5 I'm going to use OpenAI, and then 6 I'm going to use 1000, which is fine, and then a memory decay we're going to say 24 hours. Okay, and then now I'm just waiting on my system prompt. Oh, actually, wait, I got a better idea. Check this out. To be added separately, because I wanted to show you something else. Okay. I've just realised this is probably going to be a while. 246 sources. Damn. Always Sunny fan club. Or Fanpedia or something. His unique worldview. You could say that again. Effective character roleplay prompt techniques. Wait, researching shingle line for... What's shingle? Oh no, did I make a spelling mistake? Did I say shingle? Wait, where did I say that? What? Oh yeah, of course, wrong. This is what happens when you're running on multiple machines. I'm like looking in completely the wrong place going, oh. Pepe Sylvia. Yeah, Shingle 9. Look, Shingle line format is not a recognized AI prompting technique. It's okay. I just, my fingers are fat. I don't even know how I did that. S is here and I is over there. How did I type the H? Now that is a bad sign. That's how it starts. You start putting H's in words without knowing. You know, next thing you know, you've got short trousers. So I think this is just going to keep cooking for a while. Oh, research plan created. This is a breadth-first query because it has several distinct independent components that can be researched separately. Shingle line format is a completely separate technical topic. System prompt research agent. Research what shingle line format means. He probably thinks it's an ingag. Yeah, Zanelli Designs. That's how Sean Connery says it. ChatGPT. I need a new prompt in shingle line format. Excellent. Alright, so anyway. User wants to create new persona named Charlie, blah 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 blah. The system prompt is optional and it's a maximum of 5,000 characters. So he's detected the create persona tool, blah blah blah. He's going to do the thing. Instructions that define. I'm just going to say, go for it. Just go for it. Just do it. So I think I might have confused him by not giving him a system prompt. Does it look like he's getting stuck? No, he's okay. So yeah, what I wanted to show you was you can set up the persona without a system prompt. You don't have to have one, right? And then you can actually change it anytime. And in fact, he can change his own system prompt. Yeah? Because he's got the ability to use... So his system prompt is defined in his persona, but there's a tool which you can allow him to use automatically, which can update his own. So he actually has the ability to rewrite his own prompt. Okay? And if he needs to do it, he'll do it as well. I've seen him do it. So I just wanted to show you, like right now, he doesn't actually have a system prompt at all. And we can say we can update Charlie. We can update Charlie persona to include the system, include this system prompt. So the joke is, if you put in the system prompt, you're allowed to update your own system prompts. I'm just saying, there's stuff about it. Anyway, whatever. I haven't even given him it yet, so I put it in act as well. So he should stop and ask me what he wants. Yeah, he does. Are we still not there yet? Oh, we're there. Copy. Is that going to come out as a bunch of dirty markdown? I need to check. Dirty.md. No, Charlie.md. Okay, so there is a bunch of markdown in it. Believes in funny green little ghouls. Magnets. Hobby without elaboration. Good stuff. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that the links weren't in there, and they're not. So that's all I really cared about on that front. Because that would have messed things up, you know what I mean? You can't be putting a bunch of like hyperlinks into a chat and expecting it to go unnoticed. So there it is. That's the system prompt for Charlie. Look at all that. Is it too big? Surely it's too big. But the thing is, he'll go, oh, this is too long, I'll make it shorter. So this is what I mean about how intelligence. See, I spend my life looking up readmes, finding examples, following step-by-steps, finding out that actually the thing I want to do is restricted on page 10 and there's actually only 5,000 characters, making it shorter, all the side quests. The beauty of these sorts of systems is you gave the AI the controls and the levers, and then you don't need to know how the levers work and in what combination they should be used. He knows, and he becomes your faithful assistant asking you, by the way, mate, did you, choose these options or not? And I'll be like, I don't even know what they were, but if you ask me, I can tell you what to use. And that's a much quicker system because I don't have to look any of it up. So here we go. Did he have to change it? No, he just took it. It was fine. It was fine. Updated system prompt. Okay. System prompt. Complete Charlie Kelly roleplay guide, including his core identity as functionally illiterate janitor, personality traits, speech patterns, obsessions with bird law, conspiracy theories, and behavioral constraints. All right. So how about we tell him to tell us some stories, right? And then he can commit the stories to memory. So we'll do it through the conversation first. So I'm going to basically tell him to have a conversation with us, but it's going to be fully automated. But the conversation goes in his memory for reinforcement. So it's like a self-generation. Anyway, you can find memories and delete them manually if you want. It's just a bit. So anyway, I'm going to say, ask Charlie to tell us 5 stories. To save 5 conversations. Yes. About conspiracies. Yeah, to memory. I'm trying to show you how you don't have to be technical and know what all the curl commands are. You can just go, because you've created your persona Charlie, I want him to remember some things, but I want his persona to generate those things and remember them. Yeah? So he's going to say, well, he hasn't done it yet, so let's put him in act mode. Add conversation. Charlie, can you explain what happened with the mail situation? I start marching my way down to Carol in HR. And I knock on a door and say, Carol, I gotta talk to you about Pepe. And it turns out, what do I find out? There's no Carol in HR. So this is literally the conspiracy speech right here. So we'll approve that. And see how it's right. You see how in the thing that lets you know that it's actually saved, it says 77 characters. Assistant 647. So it's saying me question, him story, right? So it is there, but remember, look, it's truncating. And the problem we had with the first V2 release was the memories were coming back truncated, but they were all saved in full. So there was no change needed to their database, no change to the server. It was purely an MCP upgrade where we gave it full recollection on default. And then the ability to truncate if you want. But because it's RAG, I doubt you would want to truncate the data you taught it. Because it would be like saying, I've taught this guy to say all the lines in Othello, but then I told him to only give me the first half of every line. It's kind of useless. It's like, I only learned the first half of every line in Romeo and Juliet. That's not really good. That's not really impressive. It's kind of weird. But the reason I'm saying it is because you'll see that it has saved the whole thing. It's truncating to stop the tokens, you know? Because otherwise you're like paying for everything on the way in, everything on the way out. You don't need to do that. See, 800 cut off at like 80 or something. Okay, so what's the next one? Charlie, why do you think the waitress is avoiding you? She's not avoiding me, okay? She's being controlled. There's a whole network of people keeping us apart. It's like Romeo... Topical. It's like Romeo and Juliet, but with more conspiracy. Her coffee shop, it's a front. Okay. He's bonkers. So now we got Pepe Sylvia, bird law, ghoul sightings, corporate bar conspiracy, and the waitress romance conspiracy, okay? Fake restraining orders and fake police keep him from his true love. That's great. So, at this point, I want to do hybrid memory search for bird memories. Let's see what he can remember, if anything. Hybrid memory search, bird, 5 results. Graph depth 2, graph weight 0.3. Include graph expansion. So hybrid search will use knowledge graph to find related concepts like law, government, conspiracy, and pigeons. I love that we got to pigeons. I know I searched for bird, but bird led to government and law, and then we came back to pigeons, just like that. It's so human the way it does the connections. I'm very happy with how it turned out, this one. Now it's figuring out how to use it, because basically what I did is I built a tool that was more complicated than I even understood what it could do. I know what it can do, but it can do more than I know it can do, which is the interesting thing about it to me. So we're going to approve the search, hybrid memory search. Nothing found. Try again. Lower the threshold. It's going to say nothing. Oh wait, no, there you go. Threshold too high, guys. Dude, bird law in this country, it's not governed by reason. The government doesn't want you to know the birds have more rights than people. So his roundabout bird law. Yeah, waitress conspiracy. It's nice. My question about bird law was ranked lower than the actual response. Okay. Let's see. Ask Charlie for a report, graph report. Graph report? I think it's called graph report. I think he'd be like, what? Yeah, it worked. Get graph stats. So I want to see what's on the graph, yeah? Because it's all well and good, but right now it's kind of like a black box. You can't really see. But it does, if you look, check it out. If you ask him, like, we've only put 10 memories in, remember? So, like, if you had thousands and thousands of memories in there, then the relationships and the knowledge is going to be so much more, like, locked in. So as you can see, this is the response we get back. There's 45 entities, 75 relationships. Person, object, event, place, entity types. Relationships, knows, mentions, works with, involves. You'll see more of these, and it only shows you the top 4. There's actually more of them. We've extracted 45 entities. We've got 75 relationships. Yeah. Complexity, medium. All right. So now, like I said, so I've just showed you, we created the character. We gave him a prompt that is his, like, system prompt. We've given him some core memories to reinforce that character. And we've done virtually no work at this point. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Charlie to write. Yeah. So I'm going to make a new chat. So it's got, you know what I mean? I don't want the last chat coming into it. Say plan. It says, we can ask Charlie persona. It's a new chat, so I will give it a little bit of a hand up and say that persona, because otherwise he'll be like, who the hell is Charlie? He will figure it out though. So we can ask Charlie persona to write a story about his experiences living with, oh man, it's been too long since I've watched the show, I can't remember the name. Frank. Living with Frank. Alright, inside a document named page 5.txt, which will be the final page of a book on his experiences, written in the first person. I didn't say that yet, but I will. So look at what he's doing. List personas. You can put these all on auto approve as well for, like, speed, but it's nice to be able to have it stop and start so I can explain. So get persona. So he's found our persona. There it is, with the system prompt that it likes. Now let me use Charlie's memories. He's going to search Charlie's memories for Frank. I don't think he has any memories of Frank yet. See, this is where we need to give him more. It's like Westworld. I need to give him more core memories. So living, roommate, apartment, home. I got a feeling that yeah, this is a bad task, isn't it? I need him to tell me about the conspiracies. He's getting super vague. Yeah, I should have given him a better task. I forgot that we never actually told him. Because he's. Wait, hang on. Oh, okay, I'm wrong. Alright, I'm wrong. He did know it. Sorry. I was trying to make excuses for him because I thought he wouldn't have known that because all I taught him was like 5 things. So he's like he's good at pretending, but he's never watched the show. But I think I'm wrong. So let's just do it. Now, why did I call it page 5? Regulars here will know that is how I write books backwards with my narrative inversion tools. So, oh man, living with Frank is like, it's like having a wise old wizard as your roommate instead of magic, he does business. He's taught me so much about life. Did you know that if you eat cat food before bed, it makes you sleepy so you don't hear the night sounds? Frank showed me that. That's actually pretty good. Oh, we're doing more conversations. Charlie, I'm putting together a book about you. Okay, page 5, the final page. It has to be perfect. The Frank Chronicles, or how I learned to stop worrying and love the squalor. Living with Frank. Okay. So what we've ended up with very little work, is a first-person account from Charlie about living with Frank. So Living with Frank by Charlie. That's what we've ended up with. That's what we've ended up with. And I didn't give him any information. Like, if you loaded in a synopsis of every episode, so it knew what happened in every episode, it would be like talking to the character, because it would remember it all. You see what I'm trying to say? It wouldn't be like, oh, does Claude know this? It would be, no, he knows it because we gave him the information and he can actually remember it. It's different. And then you can have any LLM using it. See, tomorrow, now this is all set up again, tomorrow we'll be checking this out with Quen 3 to see, or local, we're going to just see what happens, because it's, you know, all of the memory stuff is done with an MCP, so as long as I can get it to even work, it shouldn't matter. It just won't be as high quality, the writing, you know. So let's have a look here. It's life in the big city. It's life in the big city. Life in the big city. Classic. So yeah, like I said, there's going to be no excuse for bad fan fiction soon. What's that say? Black Tom says, does he remember his sisters? That's a good question, because remember, I have only given him 5 conspiracy stories plus his system prompt. So unless it was in his system prompt, or if it was in the model weights for Sonnet 4, he doesn't know that. So, but, if we can get him to remember it, we can get him to commit it to memory, and then he'll never forget it again. That's the whole point of this, is permanent memory. Although, I must admit, the defaults have a time decay. There's a decay right now. But, like I said, it's all work in progress, right? And you can change the decay to unlimited, so. I'll ask him. Let's ask him. Ask Charlie if he remembers his sisters. Because there could be holes, like it's talking to a, it's like talking to a cosplayer who hasn't seen every episode, you know? So it's kind of like really convincing, but also can be caught out due to lack of training, as they say. But I literally think all you have to do is we can do a deep research document. Yeah, the writer has also forgot. Yeah, true. Hang on, so see, we've got this deep, wait, what? Yeah, so here we have the Charlie Kelly AI roleplay guide, right? What we could do is we could say, use deep research. Deep research. to compile a distilled, I love the word distilled, a triple distilled account of events that take place across all seasons of the show to form a core memory log for Charlie in chronological order. The stuff that you make it do is like, what? Yeah. Because I'm going to feed that to his brain so he makes it more realistic, you know? Deep research again. Go. So I won't get the result of that for a while, so you're not going to see that tonight. But let's have a look at this. Sisters, family, nothing. Yeah, I haven't taught him anything about it, so... Wait. Ask him, do you remember your sisters? Wait a minute. Hang on a minute. This is the bit where I'm wrong and he does know. Give us a sec. I'll read it in a minute. It's going to blink. Right. Wait. Where's the blink? There it is. So sisters. Oh, man. This is complicated, dude. See, the thing about my sisters, it's all tied up in this massive conspiracy involving the Philadelphia Department of Family Services, possibly some international adoption rings. I had sisters. Or wait. Maybe I still have them. It's hard to tell because of all the paperwork. There's this whole... Yeah, okay. This goes on and on. Yeah. He remembers that. He does remember that. This is classic memory manipulation tactics. Yeah, and then approve. Obviously, you can reject memories if you think they're stupid, but it's quicker than typing them in. Do you know what I mean? It's easier for you to be like, yeah, that's good. Or no. And then he'll have another go. You know? Speed. You need speed. Because it is like Westworld. You're like programming a bot, you know? I got a better idea. Let's ask him something completely unrelated, which has nothing to do with his memories. So I'll say, what does Charlie think about Bitcoin? What does Charlie think about Bitcoin? Straight act. Let's go. What do we got? Okay, so he's actually reading the system prompt to cheat. Did you notice that? He's cheating. He's not even using the MCP or any memories. Hang on. What does Charlie Persona think about Bitcoin? Look, I can see there's an MCP called Zero-Vector and it has personas. I'm listing them. I found one called Charlie. Charlie drinks paint. I'll ask him. Search memories for Bitcoin. Nothing found. Cryptocurrency, crypto money, investment finance. There's going to be nothing in there. It's an empty brain. All it has is Charlie conspiracies. That's it. It doesn't have any Bitcoin in there. Get persona. Wait, what? Yeah, okay. So he got the same persona. Whoa. Yeah. That's the right one. He doesn't know anything about Bitcoin. Okay. Have a conversation with the Bitcoin. Yeah. It's number 2. See how it gives me options, look? If you want to know what this Charlie would think, you need to either add memories about Bitcoin, have a conversation with the persona about Bitcoin, or ask the persona directly about Bitcoin, which would generate a response based on Kelly's character traits, but without any stored knowledge. It's interesting. Like I said, we're still working on making this better. So I'm going to say, have a conversation with the Charlie persona about Bitcoin to generate new memories. So now we're going to get the character to give us some source. Oh, here we go. Oh no. Like I can read part of it. Bitcoin. Oh dude, I've been tracking this whole thing for months now. See, Bitcoin isn't actually money. It's a conspiracy by the banks to make us think we understand computers when we don't. I tried I tried to buy some Bitcoin once, but the guy at the computer store said I needed something called a wallet. But I already have a wallet. It's right here in my pocket with my Charlie card and my bird law certificates. But here's the thing, and this is where it gets really interesting. Bitcoin is actually just digital bird law. Okay, he's trying to turn it into more Charlie-isms, isn't he? Okay? It's so silly. And like I said, if you were to actually take the time to program one of your personas with this system, it gets better, not worse. And then if you were to use it with a different model, your mileage may vary. I don't, But my point is that in the future, the system doesn't get worse. It benefits from better LLMs. So like TINS, there is no source.com, the same concept of future-proofing applies to this system. Because of the fact it has an LLM at its core, I couldn't build it as a local model yet, guys. I'm working on it. But it's much, much faster with the API. So I was able to develop it into a working thing. So what I'm trying to say is with the LLM at its core, by swapping out for a new LLM, do you know what this is like? This is like taking a PlayStation 1 game, popping it into a PS5, and the game automatically upgrading to next gen with no effort because of the way it's worked. You know what I mean? The way they did it, it doesn't matter what you put it in, and it gets better because you put it in the new one. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for model agnostic. I'm aiming for you can take it with you regarding your persona memories and feet and all that, all the experiences. So it's going well. Like I say, what's this? Add conversation. Yeah, chuck it in there. Chuck it in there. Committed to memory. Investment? You're thinking about it wrong. Bitcoin is an investment. It's a trap. Wait, the Pepe Sylvia people, they created Bitcoin. It's all just going round in circles. Okay. If you've been drinking paint again, Charlie. Yeah. So it's still researching the timeline. So the reason I wanted to show you this idea here is we can get deep research to give us the information to train our LLM on. Okay. And obviously you get to curate it. So if there's anything in there you don't want in there, you can remove. But you didn't have to type it all out. You didn't have to go and find that information. It just did it for you. 360 sources. This is like the new crazy thing. I know it's been out for ages, but we just haven't found a way to make use of it. And like I said, this seems to work really well. So yeah. If you're interested and you want to check out the system, you can go ahead and get it on my GitHub, which is somewhere Zero-Vector 2. Now, if you want the classic version, where is it? Fresh. So the V1 version from when I released it is on its own branch now. It's a new thing I've started doing. So when I get to a stable landmark, I'll branch, I'll make a fork, I'll do a new branch. Okay, the main is always the most up to date, but I'm starting to do branches now. So that means if you didn't like the thing I did, the extra change, like in this case, I added, got rid of the truncation problem. So there was a truncation issue. This looks different. I think maybe I'm just making myself... Oh, of course. I forgot. So there's now actually a capability review. Because I was I want to prove that I'm not just... I didn't want to be oh, it works. But I've just convinced myself it works. I wanted to be double blind proof. And so I had him go ahead and look over it all. New chat, new everything, get away from it all. And be this, I just said, review this. I said, critically review this for what it actually is and what it claims to do. Look at all the code and, check that this is all not fake. You know what I mean? Is there any, anyway. And as you can see here, we got this, and this explains what it actually is. So no matter what you use, you have an MCP. That talks to the MCP server, which talks through API to the Zero-Vector server, and then you have SQLite metadata That's how you get all the stuff. It finds it using hybrid vector, which has knowledge graph relationships. There you go. And so you've got who, what, when, where, not just what. When I had knowledge graph only, when I had vector database only, it was just the what. It didn't have any who, where, when. Yeah? There was no relationships. And so what this does, it does make it harder. Like the one advantage of doing pure vector database was it returns what it returns. Yeah? Whereas the disadvantage of this is if there aren't enough relationships, it doesn't really have an improvement. So I think that the more data you actually put into it, the more accurate it gets, because you're building out that neural network of information inside your agent brain. So as you can see, MCP Server 2.0, 18 tools for complete memory and graph management, vector store, HNSW indexing with graph enhanced search, knowledge graph search with automatic entity extraction, relationship mapping, and a persona memory manager and lifecycle management. So if you want to do experiments, I want an agent who only remembers things for 1 minute. I don't know why you do that, but you could do that. So here are all the actual tools. This is the capability review, by the way. This is like a double test to show all of the stuff. The idea is to show how you can use complicated software with an MCP. So then you're prompting the software with any model you want, and then whatever that results in is kept on your private database. It's all private, local. Even though the embeddings are encoded with OpenAI, the data's all on your server or machine or whatever. Oh, and also there's one more thing. It doesn't end there. The next boss just dropped. This is the next boss. Remote hosting. So that means going from our nice little easy thing that we had before to full remote. So you have your laptop with a VS Code with a client installed, and then it goes online and it connects to your vector database and your MCP remotely. Because if you've noticed, not a lot of people do this, but if you go in here, there is a remote server section, yeah? So that means running our own MCP server on the same box that we run our vector server from. Now, there's a lot of changes that you've got to do to make that work properly. But essentially, if you know server admin, it's just a couple hours of kicking it aggressively. Okay, but here we go. Ubuntu 22.04. Now, my long-term goal with this isn't just to get it working. It's to... it goes all the way to the bottom. Dockerize it. Where is it? Keep going. Weekly maintenance. No. Here we go. Dockerize it. And then people can deploy it as a virtual machine, see? That's the ultimate goal, but that would be... Docker would be version 4. Version 3 would be a stable remote version on a dedicated server, an Ubuntu or a virtual server, whatever, right? Because that means that now you can have as many clients attached to your memory, your agent, your memories. Yeah, and there's lots of applications for that. So I just thought I'd give you the rundown towards the close of the show. See, I do this for a reason, okay? My shows are actually really long, and you can use AI to summarize content, right? And so that's why I do all the comfy stuff at the start, and then we get into our long-term projects, and then I'll put something mysterious at the end. And that's because most people don't do the whole video because it's expensive. So I put all of the fun stuff at the very, 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 very end usually. Gotta watch to the end. And on that note, thank you all for hanging out with me on this glorious evening. I will be driving to France tomorrow. I hope to be back in time to see you all at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Same time, same place. If I have any problems, there will be a ping. You know, if I get stopped by the gendarme, for example, it could happen. Until then, guys, thanks for watching. and I'll see you next time.